In this DaVinci Resolve tutorial, I'm showing you how to recreate this clean, Apple-style SaaS animation. So without wasting any time, let's begin. Let's start by dragging a Fusion comp onto your timeline. Then open it up inside Fusion. Once you're in, the first thing we need is a background node. Grab one and connect it straight to the media out. Set its color to a dim white. Now grab another background node. This one is going to be our icon box. Add a rectangle mask to it. Connect it into your node tree and change its color to white. Now, adjust the width and height until it looks like a proper icon box shape. And here's something a lot of people forget. Bump up the corner radius. That's what gives it that clean, modern, rounded look instead of feeling boxy and flat. Once you are happy with it, hit Shift plus spacebar, search for drop shadow, and add it right after the box we just made. Now set the distance to 0. Increase the blur. And bring the strength down a little. That gives you a soft, subtle shadow that adds depth without being too obvious. After that, let's bring in the Google logo. You can grab that from anywhere online, connect it right here, add a transform node after the logo, and adjust its size until it sits perfectly inside the box. Now I want to animate it sliding in from left to right with a subtle bounce. And there are 4 ways you can add bounce to your animations in Fusion, so let me quickly break them down. First, let's add the animation itself. So add keyframes on frames 0 and 60, and on the first keyframe, slide the icon to the left. Now let's add bounce. The first way is doing it manually. You go into the Spline editor and craft the elastic graph yourself. And honestly, I never get it right, too tedious. The second way is anim curves, which works, but it's pretty limited. You can't control the amplitude or fine-tune much beyond what it gives you out of the box. And if you're not familiar with anim curves yet, I've already covered it in a previous video, links in the description. Go check that out after this one. The third way is Ease Bounce Stick Light by Revice. Ace a free modifier I covered in my free plugins video, link in the description. It gives you way more control than anim curves, but it's not ideal for complex keyframing. For that, you'd need to start adding multiple transform nodes or custom edit controls, which gets messy fast. And the fourth way is honestly the one I wish I knew about sooner. It's called Ease Spline, also by Revice, and it completely changes how you handle easing in Fusion. You add your keyframes in the transform node like normal, but for the easing, you don't even touch the Spline editor. Instead, go to Workspace, Scripts, Ease Spline, V2. It'll open up a completely different UI, built specifically for easing. By default, it's set to Bezier, so you can already add smooth ease in and ease out animations right away, but expand the drop down and you'll see all kinds of easing graphs. For our bounce animation, select spring, then switch it to spring out since we want the bounce on the way out. Now look at the graph. This shows you exactly how your animation is going to feel, and as you can see, it's way too bouncy right now. We want something subtle, so hover over the control button and you'll see 2 options appear: amplitude and hang. And below that, you've got 7 different presets, each one giving you a completely different bounce feel, worth exploring. Then there's physics mode. This is where things get serious. You can fine-tune every single aspect of the bounce and save it as a custom preset for later to reuse that with just one click. If you're just starting out, I'd recommend sticking to the perceived mode. It's simpler, and it gets you almost the same result without the extra complexity. So I'll bring the amplitude all the way down to 0.15, and you can save any graph you create just by clicking this white heart icon right here. And just hit apply. And just like that, the bounce animation is done, but it's a little too fast right now. So let's move the last keyframe further out. Since our timeline is 60 frames, frame 60 is the sweet spot. Just place your playhead on the exact frame you want the last keyframe to land on and click this button. And what's great about this, it doesn't just move the keyframe, it automatically adjusts the entire animation accordingly. Everything stays perfectly in sync. Now, let's animate the Google logo as well. We want a similar motion to the icon box, but slightly different, and to do that, all we need to do is tweak the amplitude and hang controls just a little, and hit apply. The animation feels great, but there's one problem. As you can see, the Google icon is sliding outside the icon box. To fix that, we need to mask the logo using the icon box itself. So take the output of the transform node and connect it to the blue input of the Google logo's merge node. And just like that, our first animation is done. And if Ease Spline isn't for you right now, no worries. Any of the 3 methods I mentioned earlier will still get the job done. Now, we want the icon box to morph into a search bar. Select the rectangle and move your playhead to wherever you want the animation to begin. Somewhere around frame 40 works well. Keyframe the width, height, and corner radius. Then move 60 frames forward and reshape the rectangle into a search bar shape. Crank the corner radius all the way up to 1. Now here's where it gets really useful. Even though we keyframed 3 different properties, you can add bounce to all of them at the same time. To do that, first enable this icon right here. With this on, you can select multiple properties together, then bring your mouse to the header of the plugin and click the 3 lines button. This will show you all the keyframed properties of the selected node right in one place. From here, you can pick individual properties or select all of them at once and apply whatever easing you want in one shot. So, let's apply our usual bounce animation and hit apply. And just like that, it's done. See how simple that was? With any other method, that would have taken you at least twice the time. Now let's move forward. While the rectangle is morphing into the search bar, I want the Google logo to slide upward. To do that, add a transform node right after the logo and keyframe the center values. Then, on the last keyframe, increase the Y value. Now, let's give it a smooth, ease out animation. Head into Ease Spline, go back to the Bezier tab, select Ease Out. Then hover over the control and select Expo. That's way too fast. Let's switch it to cubic instead. And that's perfect. Also, make sure to fade out the Google logo as it slides up. Now bring in another Google logo. The idea here is to match its motion with the old one, so it looks like the logo seamlessly morphed into a new position. I know that sounds confusing, but just bear with me. It'll make sense in a second. After placing the new logo, go to the exact frame where the old logo's animation begins and add a keyframe to the center. Do the same with the last keyframe. Then on the first keyframe, drag the new logo down, just like this. Now apply the same cubic animation we used on the old logo. And now, they're moving in perfect sync. That's the match motion right there. Finally, select the merge of the new logo and add a fade in animation. And just look at that, it's looking clean. Now here, I want to add a search and mic icon with subtle bounce, continuing with the motion, so I'd get them from the media pool. You can get these PNGs from flaticon.com. It's free and has a huge library. Connect them right after the new Google logo, then add a transform node to scale them down. But before that, since the search box is white, we need to change the icon color to something darker, and there are 2 ways to do this. The first way, grab a background node, connect the PNG node to its blue input. Now whatever color you set on the background node, the icon will match it. The second way, connect a color generator node right after the icon and mask it as well. Now, you can change its color to whatever you want. I'm going with this dark gray. Now scale it down and position it where it needs to be. Do the same with the search icon. Once everything is placed where you want it, we can start animating. At frame 50, add the first keyframe on the center value, then add the second one at frame 90. Now go back to the first keyframe and decrease the Y value. And of course, we don't want the icon sliding outside the search box, so mask both icons with the rectangle. And just like that, they're perfectly contained. Now let's add that subtle bounce. Switch it back to spring out in Ease Spline, adjust the bounce to taste, and hit apply. Do the same with the mic icon, but make sure there is a 2 to 3 frame gap between them. Once that's done, it's time to add the text inside the search box. Grab a text node, type out your text, change the color to dark gray, scale it down, and position it right here. Now, move your playhead to around frame 70 and add a keyframe to the right on property, then add another keyframe at frame 110. Go back to the first keyframe and bring the right on value all the way down to 0. Then head into the spline and give it this graph right here. Now, we want the search box to morph back into a squared box. This time, for our calendar icon, select the rectangle node, move your playhead to around frame 100, and add keyframes to the width, height, and corner radius. Then jump to frame 170 or beyond, and adjust those values until the rectangle takes on a square icon shape. And that's looking great. Now let's add the bounce. Select the rectangle node, head back to Ease Spline, check these boxes, and switch from Bezier to Elastic. Now open the left sidebar, check all 3 properties. Select Elastic out. Adjust the graph to your liking and hit Apply. Looking good. Now select the text node, keyframe its opacity, and add a quick fade out animation. And one quick thing, due to the bounce animation, the edges of the rectangle go sharp for a single frame. Not a great look. To fix it, unselect the width and height from the properties. Switch the graph back to Bezier and give it a cubic out animation instead. And that's it. Sharp edges gone. Now, I'll go ahead and add the remaining text elements to finish off the calendar icon. Move your playhead to around frame 110, select the first text node, head to the Transform tab, and add a keyframe to the center values, then jump to frame 170, and add another keyframe, and on the first keyframe, move it upwards. Now add the bounce animation. This time I'm using physics mode because it gives me a lot more flexibility over how the bounce feels. The animation is starting a little late. I want to move the first keyframe to frame 105. Just place your playhead where you want it and hit this left button. Done. Same with the last keyframe. Now, move 3 frames forward and animate the second text from here. This one slides in from left to right. Let me quickly set that up. And here's the best part about Ease Spline. Since we already have our bounce dialed in, we can apply that exact same animation across all our elements with just one click. Now, move another 3 frames forward and animate the third text from here. This one gets the same slide down animation as the first. Give me just a second to set it up. Alright, everything is set up. Now we just need to mask these texts as well. Simply grab the output of the rectangle's transform node and connect it to the blue input of each text's merge, except the third one. That one is meant to stay outside the box. Just add a simple fade-out animation to the third text. After that, I added some camera movements using transform nodes, and here is the final result. Now real quick, if you've been enjoying Ease Spline throughout this video, it is genuinely worth every penny. It's currently at a 35% discount, so go grab it while you can. Links in the description. It'll speed up your animation workflow more than you'd expect. And that's everything for this one. See you in the next one. Keep creating, keep improving.